Hello world, and welcome to That Real Estate Show. My name is Patrick Purifoy. I am your host. I am the owner and broker of Blessed Properties and BP School of Real Estate right here in Killeen, Texas. I want to welcome you to the show today. I have alongside me my friend and co-host, my brother, Mr. Ken Biggers. Ken, how you doing today?
Sir, I'm doing absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Good. And allow me to introduce to some and present to others, Miss Angela Holmes. Angela, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Wonderful, ma'am. Angela is the newest addition of the Blessed Properties real estate sales team, and we are so blessed to have her. She's already out there doing work, doing what we call ministry. Other people might call sales, but what we call ministry at Blessed Properties. She's out there helping a lot of families buy and sell homes. So Angela, it is great to have you on our team, and thank you for joining us today.
Amen. It's a blessing to be on the team.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Ken, what's been going on, man? I know you are busy. You are all over the place. You're doing a lot of things too.
Yes, I am. Honestly, just to give God all the glory for it. I'm blessed to be in a position to help people.
Yes.
Because I love people.
Yes.
I mean, I do love to talk, but I think I love people even more.
You forgot eat.
Oh yeah,
eat too.
I love to eat too.
Yeah, man. This is again, this is truly ministry for us.
Yes.
And we love this calling God has placed on our lives to do this thing called real estate.
That's right.
We're able to help a lot of people, and just this last week, I met with a lady. She has a house that there's no other way to say it. It's a burden to her.
Right.
She doesn't know what to do with it. She's tried to rent it out on her own and had bad luck with that. The last tenants destroyed the house, destroyed the carpet, skipped out on 2 months' rent, and she's just up in the air about what to do with this property.
Right.
And I was able to minister to her a little bit, and prayerfully, we'll sit down and come up with a solution for her to help her and relieve her of that burden.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful, definitely.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today, a lot of people are in the market to buy a home. A lot of people have a desire to buy a home, but a lot of people don't know what it takes. A lot of people know that it takes credit. I need to get my credit straight. I need to work on my credit.
Right.
Yes, that's right. But let me paint this picture for you. I think all of us have seen a table or even a stool that you sit on, right?
Right.
We've seen a 4-legged table or stool.
Right.
We've seen a 3-legged table or stool.
Right.
Have you ever seen a 2-legged or 1-legged table or stool?
No, I haven't.
No, we haven't. So let's look at it like this. Let's look at this stool or this table, if you will, with the 3 legs that are important and set the foundation to put you in a position to buy a home.
That's good.
All right. So the first leg is a job.
Okay.
You got to have a job.
So if I want to buy a house, I have to have a job.
You have to have a job.
Okay.
Well, let me clarify. Maybe you don't have to have a job. Maybe you are a retired veteran, retired from your job, whatever your job was. Let's say income. We'll change that leg to income.
Okay.
You have to have consistent income.
Right.
That can be traced back.
Right.
Okay. So when the lender goes to do their checks, they can see where you have a steady flow of income.
Right.
A history of income. Right.
That's good.
All right. So the next leg is credit.
Okay.
We do have to have credit. We have to have good credit, not just credit.
Just credit. We need some good credit. I was about to ask you that one too.
Revelation of a difference.
Yeah.
There's credit, and then there's good credit.
Right.
All right. So all of us have credit, but
That's
is it
right.
good?
But is it good?
Yeah. So I would say nationally across the board, you need a minimum of a 640 credit score.
Right.
All right. So we all know that there are 3 different credit bureaus out there: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian.
Yeah,
there you go. Appreciate it. So what the lenders look for when they examine your credit, they're gonna go to all 3 of those credit bureaus, and that middle credit score needs to be 640.
Right.
That's their starting point, 640. So if the middle is less than 640, you got a little work to do, and they can perhaps guide you in the way that you need to go to get it up to that 640. But credit, you have to have good credit.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, as my grandmother said, nowadays, they want you to have good credit. You need good credit, and a general definition of good credit to lenders is this: no delinquent payments in the past 12 months.
Okay.
Everything paid on time,
Okay.
as agreed upon.
Right.
So if you go out to Best Buy and you open up a Best Buy account, you get a Best Buy credit card, and it says you have to pay $35 a month, and that's what you agreed to, your statement comes, you need to be sending them $35 a month.
Okay.
Okay? So no delinquent payments, none, nowhere across the board. All the bills you got need to be paid on time
Right.
for the previous 12 months to the time you put in your application.
Okay. So what if there's, we know life
Yes.
happens.
Right.
And I've experienced a medical issue where I haven't been able to work,
Mhm.
and I've been delinquent on some payments.
Mhm.
What are a couple of things, just a couple of things that I can do to assist my credit in going back in the right direction?
Well, I always like to tell clients, don't go and do anything on your own.
Uh-huh.
That loan officer, they are the subject matter expert,
Right.
and they are the ones that will let you know what you need to do, or if you need to do anything at all. Typically with medical bills, they will excuse medical bills. A lot of them will. So again, before you go and do anything, and I have people, I have people all the time talk to me about buying a house, right? And when we start talking about credit, it just reminded me, and I laugh because when we talk about salvation and inviting people to church, well, I'm gonna come when I get myself right.
Right.
Well, we can't get ourselves right.
That's right.
We can't. We have to come as we are.
That's it.
You know,
Mhm.
and God does the rest.
He does the rest.
So when it comes to credit, you may be hurting yourself if you take the money that you have
Mhm.
and you decide, well, I'm going to go and pay this off. I'm going to go and pay this off. Most lenders will tell you, wait, let me send this to underwriting. Let's see what underwriting has to say. And by the way, underwriting is the final approving authority of your loan, not that loan officer.
Right.
Because they are doing the fact checks. They are making sure that everything is within federal guidelines
Right.
for your loan.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if underwriting comes back to the lender and says, hey, we need him to pay off this medical bill, we need him to pay off this Best Buy card, then pay it off.
Right.
But if they say hold off, hold what you got, then hold what you got. Don't lean to your own understanding.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's true. Now I have an example of that too. I had a client that she came into some money, had some credit cards that had some, I mean, they weren't maxed out,
Right.
but they had some amounts on them.
Right.
So she decided, I'm going to pay off all of my credit cards. So those of you that's listening, guess what happened? Because it got paid off, now the account is closed.
Right.
Now her credit score has dropped tremendously, and she couldn't buy a house
Right.
Yep.
just because of that.
Yep. And see, that's the unknown fact or truth that a lot of people don't know. When
Right.
you go and pay off something, they don't leave the account open. Why would they leave it open?
Exactly.
There's no balance left for them to manage that account. So when you pay it off, it closes the account, and that hurts your debt income ratio.
Right.
So that's what the FICO score or credit score is made of, and that's what they look at is credit discipline. Are you a disciplined credit user? So let's say, I don't know why I'm stuck on Best Buy. The Best Buy.
Maybe you want to go get something from Best
I
Buy.
might need to go to Best Buy. Now. So let's say you go to Best Buy and you get a credit card from Best Buy and it's $1,000.
Right.
So you are good to use up to $300, $350 of that Best Buy credit card balance before your score starts to drop.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Any credit line that you have open and available to you, when you use more than 1/3 of it, that hurts your credit score.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
1/3 or 30%,
Yeah.
however you calculate.
However you calculate it. Once you go over that threshold, your score starts to drop. So, you need to kind of carefully plan going forward. Now that you know this, you need to carefully plan how you use your credit, how you use your credit cards. It's credit discipline. That's what they're looking
That's right.
for. They want to know, is he maxing out his credit cards or credit accounts? How are they handling their money? How are they handling their finances? So the last thing is reserves.
Reserves, okay.
So we've talked about a job or income, a steady income. Let me back up. I need to go back to jobs.
Okay.
I need to go back to income, because we're in a military community, and I have a lot of people that are getting out of the military, and they're calling me asking, on information to buy a home. Can they buy a home? Well, the answer is yes and no. All right. So I had a person call me just the other day, and they had a 13 series. One had a 13 series and one had an 11 series MOS.
What is that exactly?
Field artillery and infantry.
Okay.
Okay. And do not hear what I'm not saying. Okay. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I don't know what Angela laughing at me. I don't know what an infantryman translates to in the civilian world.
Right.
Okay. So let's say somebody like myself, somebody like yourself, I was signal, you were food service.
Right.
So that's easy.
Yes.
Those are very easy. I can go and work for AT&T, Verizon, whoever. You can go and run a restaurant.
Right.
That's easy. But those type jobs that I mentioned, I don't know what they translate into. And a lot of the civilian sector don't know what they translate into. So here's the thing. If you are getting out of the military and you are wanting to buy a house, the key thing is that first leg again is job or income. So what the lender needs to see is income. Some will even work with you, and we're talking about a three-legged stool here. Okay, we have to have something, a base, a foundation to set this mortgage on. So a lot of them will even accept from you if you have a letter of acceptance to a job that you're going to with a start date and a expected salary from that employer.
Right.
If you have that, they will work with you. A lot of them will. But if you're getting out of the military and you don't have any plans, you don't know what you're doing, you're starting your job search from scratch, after you complete this pre-qual application, it's not going to work.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
So reserves, reserve funds. Reserve funds are monies that you already have in your bank account. So they want to know and see that you have money sitting in the bank. God forbid the day after we close, you lose your job.
Right.
That you have enough to at least cover 3 months of that new mortgage payment that you took on.
Because it's their investment.
It's their investment.
Right.
Right. And what a lot of people don't know is that lender can and will be audited. And if they, the auditors look at their file for your account and find that they went ahead and did this loan based only on 2 legs and not 3, and you didn't have reserve funds in the bank, and you immediately began to be late and went into foreclosure, they could be held responsible for the balance of that loan.
Right.
Even that loan officer can be held accountable for that. And who wants that?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So, those are the 3 legs of this stool, of this table, if you will, that your mortgage sits on, your future mortgage sits on. So you have to have a job. You have to have income. And I have to go back. I have to go back because we're in the military community again. If you're getting out and you go to this new job, see, the whole thing is the job history. They want to see 2 years.
Right.
Even with civilians, they want to see 2 years.
Uh-huh.
If you're not on the same job, let's say you worked 6 months at company A and then you went to company B, and now this is 18 months past and you're now applying for a home loan. As long as it was in the same career field,
right,
you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were a food service specialist for those 6 months and then you switched and you went over to signal communications for those last 18 months, you need to wait another 6 months.
Right.
They want to see you on the same job or in the same career field for at least 24 months.
Yes.
So that's our table, that's our stool,
Mhm.
you know, whereupon we will sit our mortgage. So just think about that going forward, those things that we just talked about.
That's good.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna shut up for just a minute. What you got, kid?
Yeah, I got a few things. If time permits, we're
Yes,
going to hit on HOAs or POAs.
Okay.
And we'll talk about homeowners associations or property owner association. We're going to talk a little bit about diversity, and that one is a little geared more towards realtors. And then, of course, the old infamous, which we haven't heard in some time, the Q&A session.
Okay.
All right. So, homeowners association. One of the big things that I have clients ask, and some of the majority of this information is coming out of the Texas Realtors magazine. One of my clients, I won't say one, but a lot of my clients ask the question, well, I don't want that. What do I have to do? Do I have to join that? Well, the answer to the question is, some of them are mandatory and some are not.
Right.
Okay? Those that are mandatory, needless to say, it's mandatory. If you want to live in that particular area, you're going to have to join that HOA. All right, now.
And HOAs are not a bad thing.
They're not, and we're going to cover that too. We're definitely going to hit on that one as well. So one of the other questions is, how much does it cost? How much are dues, or how are they assessed? Do I have to pay them monthly, yearly, weekly? How does it work? Well, normally your HOA or POA, they are paid on a monthly or an annual basis. So that's the answer to that question. Who should you contact? An association may be managed either by a company, a third-party company, or it is managed by the residents themselves.
Right.
Okay? And again, this is just some good information over HOAs. What are the rules? Are there any rules to HOAs? Yeah. And so what are some of those rules? You can't paint your fence purple.
Yeah.
There's some rules like that.
Yeah.
And that,
You got some communities, a standard stucco brick,
Yes.
no wood, no siding.
that's right. And as a matter of fact, there's a prominent one in this area. You can't build your home less than 2,800 square feet. Okay, so that's some of the rules you have to go by, but it works in your advantage.
And even some of them, whatever the materials your house is made out of, if you want an outbuilding, a storage shed,
Yes.
per se,
Mhm.
it has to be made out of the same materials as your
As your
house.
house, yes.
Yeah.
But it looks good to me
It
like
does.
that.
It does.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Now, what do you get from your dues? So we got to put out this money on a monthly or an annual basis. So what am I getting out of it exactly? Well, you can get some maintenance. You know, get your yard cut, the bushes trimmed. You may even have some community things that are available to you, such as a basketball court, swimming pool.
Right.
You know, kids, they just have fun.
Clubhouse.
Oh yeah, really nice. That's really nice. And you know, something that we've gotten away from as a people
Right.
is communities.
Right.
This does help bring back that community feel.
Right.
You know, so that's another thing. Okay. Is an HOA a good fit? Because that's really one of the big questions your client or you as a consumer have to answer. Is it a good fit for me? So you have to pay out money. So one of the considerations, let me give you an example. Say that you work and your work requires you to travel from state to state to state, or even from country to country, and you're not able to cut your grass. Well, your cousin Bubba, Bubba liked to drink. Let's just keep it real. Bubba liked to drink. You expect Bubba to go cut your grass, but Bubba don't never cut your grass.
Right.
So this may be one of the reasons you may want to assume an HOA to make sure that your yard is cut. You're not going to get fined or anything of that nature. Now, property owners face restrictions, but they also benefit from them by some of the things that we talked about. Now, one of the areas that we haven't mentioned is increased property value,
Right.
or even maintained property value for that matter. Now, what does that mean exactly? Can you elaborate on that for me?
And that's the exact thing. I used to be against HOAs. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be against HOAs. But as you get older, and
you are old.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to put that one in
I
there.
walked it down.
Yeah.
As you become more established,
Okay, come on.
You want different things out of life.
Right.
You want peace, you want quiet, you want the enjoyment of your home.
That's right.
And that's what a lot of HOAs do provide, because they have a set standard of living within that community, and anything below that, you get fined.
Right.
And if you violate the HOA rules, some of them can even foreclose on your home because you're not adhering to the set standard, the set standard of living.
That's right.
So that's one of the benefits, the huge benefits of the HOA to me. I don't think now, my wife and I, we're about to build our home, and there's an HOA there. I don't think I would buy a home or build a home in a community. And that's just me where we are in our lives right now.
Exactly.
Because that benefits us. Again, that's going to keep up the value of the home. When we come out as real estate professionals and we do a market analysis, we're analyzing the homes in that community.
That's right.
Of that HOA. We're not going anywhere outside. No, this is exclusive living right here.
Right.
So if you want to come in and live in this community, you got to pay the piper.
Yeah.
So
You got to live a certain way.
yeah.
So now, Angela, what was that? Now, what would you have to say about HOAs? What is your take on those?
I like HOAs.
Yeah.
Like Patrick was saying, I was against them as well. Because military. I don't want nobody else telling me what to do and what I can and can't do.
Right.
How I can't have my house, and I can't park a trailer out in front of. I want to. My husband always say I want to do a trailer so I can put some woods on there and fix up some things if I need to.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like the HOA because now I can say no, we can't have no trailer.
Right.
We can't have that outside. So I like the HOA, especially the gated HOA communities. The safety of it. I just like the community environment. Even they do, I know Bella Charka does community garage sales on yard sales. So it's a great advantage to the HOA to me.
Right.
And so, like you said, it just depends on where you are. Because I see a lot of families, they'll say no. Especially some of the soldiers, they be like, no, I don't want to deal with it. I already gotta take orders on, at work. So I kind of want to stay away.
And that's the mindset and mentality I was coming out of. Being in the military all those years. I don't need another person telling me what to do.
Exactly.
I'm grown. This is my house.
I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
So as you hear, we all pretty much have the same mindset about that, but this is not to sway you, this is actually to inform you. And one of the things Patrick just alluded to is as a HOA, they can foreclose on your home. Why would they be able to do that? Well, failure to pay your HOA dues. They can foreclose on your home. So those are pros and cons to that. Now, the Texas Association of Realtors, it is an entity that is for the consumer. That's what it's there for. Now, I'm going to read something to you. The Texas Association of Realtors supported several HOA reforms made by the Texas legislature in 2011, including bills that assign homeowners past due payments to their dues before any fines or attorney fees, enhanced residents' voting rights, mandated open records and meetings for HOAs, and made it more difficult for an HOA to foreclose on a homeowner, and restricted HOA's ability to ban religious displays, flags, and solar panels. So HOAs, again, it has some good things, some bad things. We're getting close to the end of our time, but I'm going to hit real quick on diversity. Diversity, that's something that, especially as we talked about here, we have a Fort Hood military environment. Diversity, the first thing comes to my mind is ethnicity. But actually, diversity is not necessarily that. An instructor for Texas Realtors University, Soccer Chapman Thomas, whom we both know, Patrick. Yep. We're associated with an organization, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, which breaks down into Texas Association of Real Estate Brokers, as well as the Austin Association of Real Estate Brokers. But anyway, they deal with a lot of diversity things. Anyway, so moving right along. Now, diversity includes more than obvious differences that we can see. Now, some of those things where you can notice diversity is you look around into your own brokerages. You can find somebody that may be a Christian, somebody that don't even have a belief, a Muslim, different ages, and so on and so forth. So that's really what diversity is made of. Now, I'm going to hit you with a couple of quotes here, and I thought that this one was really good. It says, "We're all human beings, and we're all 99% the same. It's the 1% we see on the outside that makes us think we are so different, but we are not." So, how do we start addressing the issue of diversity? Well, one of the things by doing it is simply by looking around, seeing the differences that people like. One of the things about diversity is people like to be communicated with differently. One of my experiences is when I have a young client, they're okay with texting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, text me. They'll text 25 paragraphs in a row in one message.
Yeah.
But then you have an older client, please call me. I don't really do the text thing. So, but again, this is all in the wheelhouse and the pool of diversity. So I say to you, open up the chance to learn more about diversity. It actually will help you with your business. It'll help you with communicating with people. There are some diversity classes that are available online. I'm sure at some point, BP SOAR, that's Best Property School of Real Estate, will offer something like that as well in the future. I'm sure that, yes, and you heard it from the man, Mr. Patrick Purifoy, broker and owner of Blessed Properties. Yes, so if he said it's going to be, it's going to be. Amen. All right. Well, we're running out of time, sir. I'm going to give this back over to you so we can wrap things up. And it's just been great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we go, this Friday, 16 September, if you have not seen this play, A Family Matter, you need to go and see this play. 801 North 4th Street, right here in Killeen at the Arts and Activity Center at 7 p.m. And Blessed Properties, we are selling tickets as well. So that's 2210 East Central Texas Expressway. The tickets are $25 each. As a matter of fact, the first person that makes it to my office and said they heard it on the radio show today that we are giving away a free ticket, you will get that free ticket.
I'm on my way.
Last but not least, I saw this young lady on Roland Martin a couple days ago, Dr. Nicole Green. I need you guys to Google this. Dr. Nicole Green. She has made huge advances in her cancer research and thinks she has found a cure for cancer. Her website is www.physics2cancer.org. Physics2cancer.org. All of us, black, white, red, yellow, everybody in the United States has been affected by cancer. That's right. And this young lady cancer has changed her life as well as it has changed ours. And that's the website. We're running out of time, but Google her, donate to her cancer research. Blessed Properties will be donating to her next month. All right, God bless.
God bless you.